What's up, guys? This is my first video, my first review ever, and I'm going to do it on my 2018 Harley Davidson Street Glide. It is my fourth motorcycle, and it is probably one of my favorites so far. I transitioned to this bike from a 2014 B&W S1000R, and that is probably the exact opposite of what this bike is. As you can tell, this is just a little bit different from a B&W S1000. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, and a lot bit slower. Why would I transition to this bike? I just got sick of riding a fast bike every day. And the only reason I bought this bike is because of the color combo. The black and the flat white just caught my eye, and I fell in love with it right away. A buddy of mine has a Street Glide, and I rode it. Thought it was pretty cool. I wasn't sure about it. And then saw this color. I was like, yep, no question about it. I'm getting it. One of the first things that I noticed when getting on a Harley Davidson is this right here. Going from a sport bike that has a peg smaller than my finger to this brake pedal was the weirdest thing. Now it's kind of hard to go back to a thin piece of metal compared to this brake pedal. One thing I'm not so sure about with Harley and why they did this was this little plug right here. I don't see putting a cigarette lighter in there or anything else. And the most annoying part about it is every time you get on the bike, that thing falls out. $25,000 bike, and they've got a little piece of plastic filling the hole, and it comes out every time you ride it. Probably one of the things I hate the most about this. An option in this bike that I didn't think I would ever use are the bags. Going from a sport bike that doesn't have any bags to this thing that has two gigantic bags, I didn't see the use in them. I just love the color, bought the bike, went for it. But since having it, I have found that you can store your helmet, not one coat, but two coats in one bag. And the other bag, a camera bag and a tripod, will fit in there with no problem. I must say it's pretty decent storage, and one of the more impressive points of Harley. Now on to the upgrades. One of the upgrades that I did immediately upon getting the bike were these Reinhardt racing pipes. The stock Harley pipes were not good, to say the least. They were cheap, conventional, whatever. These things are definitely cut above. With the baffles in, the way they come in the box, they're much louder than the Harley pipes. You take the baffles out, and it gets almost to the point where you need to have earplugs in. It gets crazy. Unfortunately, though, when I took the baffles out, it did affect the ECU, and the throttle it wasn't the same. The back pressure changed. It doesn't have an onboard ECU that can change the tuning. I hands down recommend them. I love the pipes. They sound good, and they look pretty darn good too. Another two upgrades I did right here. Clockworks 14-inch windshield. Night and day difference over the stock one. The stock one comes about up here and offers you about zero wind protection straight into my face. This thing, way better. The one downfall I will say, though, is if you are a little bit shorter than me, I'm like 6'2", you cannot look through this. It distorts the road to a point where it's not even safe. Probably going to want a shorter windshield. It's going to be just a little bit better. Another upgrade I did is the headlight. The stock Harley Davidson headlight is a halogen light. It's okay. This is the Daymaker LED headlight, and it's definitely a different light. It's got a couple LEDs in there, lights up way better. I would totally recommend it. And on to the last upgrade. For the Harley aficionados, you would notice that there's not a antenna back here. That is because I did the Harley boom antenna, the electrical one that goes inside the front fairing. Took out the back one. I don't know what it was about the back antenna, but it really bothered me. And since taking it out, I love the look of the bike. It looks super sharp, and the radio reception, I think, increased because the new antenna is a powered antenna versus this one, which is not. Cleaned it up, and I got better radio performance. I would highly recommend doing that to your Harley. It's about $80. Took me less than an hour to do. Super straightforward, and you reap some really good benefits from it. Another safety feature / upgrade are these tail lights back here. These are LED lights that are taped to the bag, and they offer a good increase in lighting. These lights are pretty good. They, along with this guy down here, they light up at night, but these guys are exceptionally bright. So altogether, I think it's safer because you can be seen, and they look pretty good. Also upgraded these to the LEDs, just to make it a clean look, and I think that's pretty good. One of the things I did do is I did buy clear lenses for the LEDs, and with the red LED and the clear lens, it was decently bright. When you put the red lens with the red LED, it gets much brighter, much more of a crisp red, and I feel like that's definitely a safety thing that everybody should do. Stick with the red caps for your LEDs. Now it's time to start it up. And you will notice a monumental difference between the stock pipes and the Reinhardt pipes. 100% better. And that is a brief tour of my 2018 Harley Davidson Street Glide Special. It is one heck of a bike. I would definitely recommend buying it. Just make sure it suits your needs. The one downside, I would say, it's definitely not as fast as an S1000R, but it's just as fun in different ways.